The Black Lives Matter movement is still moving, but where exactly is it going? All that right here, right now, on this episode of The Biz.
Get funky!
All right, welcome to The Biz. We're all up in it. I'm your man Daniel's out here. Let's see without.
Hey, Ron, living in San Diego.
So, question for you. How much movement is the Black Lives Matter movement really doing? How much movement is there, really? And I'm only asking because, we've stirred up a lot over the last couple months, obviously, because there needed to be, right? I'm not saying that the stirring up of issues wasn't necessary, but there's a lot of stuff going on through these continued protests that are happening where black people actually people in general. I'm not gonna say just black people, but people are dying, and there's no word. There's no Black Lives Matter movement for some of the people who are getting killed along the way. What do you think about all that? Like, what is the movement really moving?
At this point, I feel like it's just going in circles. You got a few cities where they're still rioting / protesting pretty heavily. Washington, Oregon.
Right. And I'm asking because I don't want this. I don't want it to lose the momentum. I want there to be social change, right? I want there to be, changes to the way our justice system and just the way we communicate with each other in general. But it seems as if we had the strong push after George Floyd and, Breonna Taylor and everything. But, it seems like, now it's coming in for a landing. And
well, if you're on board with the Black Lives Matter movement, it's obvious that there's no leader. You've got the dog chasing his tail here. You've got a million things going on at once, and I'm of the belief that, or I just don't feel that all Black Lives Matter to the Black Lives Matter movement. And
clarify that.
Oh, kids get shot. Kids shot up in Chicago. Nothing. No rage, no outrage. The very next weekend, kids get shot in Chicago. No outrage, no Black Lives Matter, no nothing. There were other terrible things. If you want to just keep it in the scope of just talking about black people, there are other terrible things happening, and you just don't see, for a movement that's supposed to be out in front of everything that is black, nowhere to be found for a lot of stuff. It can't just be police, black people. There's a lot more going on.
There is a lot more going on. So you think for the people who are getting killed, as a result of attending these protests or whatever, the Black Lives Matter movement should be paying attention to that stuff too, because those are black lives and they should matter in the scheme of things, right? But we hear nothing about them.
Correct. You see, they're also making a ton of money. I don't see any money going anywhere near any of the inner cities. I don't see plans to build these new schools in these tough neighborhoods.
Which is possible. No, I'm sorry. Is it possible that they're doing these things and we just don't know about it?
How can you miss a school being built? Build schools in secret. Right. And even if you build this hypothetical new school in the inner city, or schools plural, how are you going to get people to teach there?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for. You can't be. There's no such thing as a part-time Martin Luther King. You're either all in or you're all out. I mean, there's no. I just do the Martin Luther King thing on the weekends. It doesn't work that way.
Right. And some people have obviously, stood up or made speeches or whatever. But I mean, and I think we both talked about this before. There needs to be a leader, someone who's going to stand up and be, willing to, take the bullet, like literally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, Martin Luther King was that dude. So you think that's what's missing with all of this? Like, where the protests are still happening and then you got stuff going on up in, Oregon and, Chicago and different places, are we missing that that figurehead, or is it just a bunch of people running around
It's
losing?
very much, yeah, it's very much just a bunch of people running around. It's like a chicken with his head cut off. Everybody's got their strong opinion, and I just had this thought. Even if there was a leader, I don't know how many people are good followers, are willing to follow. Everybody's, what's the saying? Too many cooks in the kitchen, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Uh, and it's just a bunch of chaos. So if you step outside of being black for 2 seconds, you look objectively what's going on. You're like, okay, now what? It's
yeah, yeah.
it's
Because where are
Monday.
we going? Yeah, where is the movement going? Right.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, it's like and I don't use this analogy because because I write, but it's like reading a book or watching a movie, and there's no driving point, right? You ever watch a movie where you don't really know what the main character's objective is? Like, what is he?
Mhm.
What's good? When is this movie gonna? Oh my God, the movie just ended. Why did it just end like that? Right?
Yeah.
When you watch a movie or read a book, there's usually some objective. There's usually something that the main character is moving towards, even if the main character doesn't know it himself at first, right?
Mhm.
And so, watching the stuff that's going on, watching the protests lately, I kind of feel like, but where's the actual focus right now? What are we doing to actually make these changes happen? And maybe we can't do anything until November, when we can actually start voting on stuff. But I don't know. I don't want them
Well, I mean,
to die because, like you said, we're just chasing our tail.
well, I'm not even sure how voting fixes that. I'm not saying don't vote, but you still got people just, destroying stuff. Yeah, there are people out there that just, and this is all colors, they just want to see the world burn. And they're mixed in with the movement. And let's put it this way: after November, let's go to December 1. There's not some massive change because everybody voted. It's even if Trump doesn't get reelected, people aren't just not going to be racist or not going to be this or not going to be that.
I get that. I get that. I mean, I'm hoping the idea is people go out and vote. We get a different set of lawmakers in important positions that can help further and spread the agenda of equality for everyone, right? Um,
Well, there's two things that
that,
has to happen.
that's the idea.
That's the idea, but you want to have informed voters. You know, there's a percentage, there's a number of people that vote in this country. And then there's an even smaller number of informed people, whether you're left, right, up, down, whatever side you value fall
Right.
on, that are informed. I'd much rather live with whatever the result is if the percentage of informed voters is higher. But
Well, that's not
the term they use is low information. Everybody's got a cell phone in your hand. Read the information.
well,
But
people don't want to do that. People, I mean, not everyone is willing to ask a question and then sit down and look up the information themselves. People just, I don't know why we're not.
your vote is on. Your vote is only as good as the last commercial you saw. It's
It
that's
really is, right? Because
that's it.
that's how they sell themselves to the majority of people in the country. They do this ad, and then they smear the other guy real quick, and they'll, you know, I'm I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this. Right?
This guy. It's always low key. This guy can't read. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve. It's
Exactly.
always, and they do it to each other. It's actually I laugh because you're just low key trash talking on TV.
Right. So since we're talking about the movement and where it's going, oh, what do you feel about Kanye?
I see Kanye. I didn't take his run for president seriously.
I didn't either, but he's not gone yet.
But he's having, from what I understand, that I guess he suffers from being bipolar. Now, I haven't confirmed that, but a lot of people have said he's having an episode, which changes the tone of this, and it's kind of scary.
It does, but how are you his family? And if he's having a a bipolar episode. Okay, I get that. I understand it. But how, as his family, do you let him have one nationally, publicly?
He's the one in the family with the money.
No, no. Kim had money before Kanye strolled
No, no,
in.
no, no. I'm not. But he's still an individual with a. They both have money. There's just like maybe a god complex, you know.
He's drinking his own juice. I get it. I mean, he likes to drink it by the keg load. But still, running for president,
Anybody can do it. He's got the money to get in front of a camera. You and I can run for president,
I don't have
but
any money. I'm in front of a camera right now.
I'm
I'm not
talking
running.
like
I'm not running for president. Of course, I did say though that if Kanye West runs for president and wins, I'm gonna run after he does.
oh, I voted for myself in the last election.
Yeah, because you could do that. Oh man, you did,
You
didn't
do that,
you?
and I got 3 people to vote for me.
People
Nobody
who
knew
don't
about
even
it.
know you. That's great. It is. Yeah, I don't want Kanye to be president. I don't care what color he is. It's not a color thing. I want somebody in there who knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody who knows how to stand up before the
Well,
people and look like he cares about the office that he's
there's
running.
no presidential course. There's no pre-president training. There's not. It's
Come on, there's common sense, and
no.
I know
I don't.
common sense isn't that common. I get it,
Fun
but
fact.
there's an expectation of how you should conduct yourself in public, especially. I mean, what you do behind closed doors, I don't care what you're doing, but when you're of the free world, if I can put that, name on it, because I've heard people say it. If you're the leader of the free world, there's a certain expectation about how you're supposed to conduct yourself in public.
Is
Things
that written or unwritten?
It's unwritten. It is unwritten. It is unwritten. And I don't know. I guess maybe I should stop hoping that the president's going to be a decent human being in public. Maybe that's why people love Agent Orange so much, because he's real all the time. He's just a straight shooter. Okay.
I just don't expect much change in November, no matter who gets elected. You could dig up
agree.
George Washington. I'm not expecting.
Yeah, and
a new
unfortunately,
world.
that is kind of where my initial question came from. Like, where is the movement moving to? Like, and I realized the goal is huge, and it's not just, a one-shot deal. We're going to take care of everything. I realized that this type of change that we as Black people want is going to take a while. It's not going to happen in November, and then, like you said, we're going to wake up on December 1st and be like, oh, ooh, this racism is gone. It feels so good. Right? I realize that's not going to happen, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the loop enough to actually see where the story's going. And I think I guess I want someone to get on TV or somewhere and say, "Hey, this is the plan." I don't know. And maybe I'm hoping too much.
You and I not being in the loop is exactly my point. I didn't get an email from the Underground Railroad Society. Probably shouldn't say that, but I didn't. Shouldn't I be in the loop? Text message,
Something.
spam.
I mean, there should be something someplace where, and there might be. If there's anyone out there who knows, who can send me some info in the comments below, let me know. Give me a website. Give me something that I can go to every day so I can see where we're going, what steps we're actually taking beyond the protests to actually push what we need to get pushed, to actually put that message into practice, because it sounds great, Black Lives Matter. And actually, we've discussed this. I, I personally believe Black Lives Matter is missing a word. I think there's one too few words in that. It should be Black Lives Matter too. Just like I think Make America Great Again has one too many words. It should be Make America Great. I would have been totally on board with that crap, right? Totally. So on the flip side, I can say it on this end too. Black Lives Matter, you're short a word. It should be Black Lives Matter too. I don't even know if we'd have all the pushback that we have. However, we got it. Where's it going? If someone out there can send me info, because I'm living my life. I'm not stuck to the TV every day. I'm not flipping through every Black Lives Matter page and reading every post that has Black Lives Matter. I'm not doing it. I don't have time for it. I have a job, a wife, a kid, and I like to watch movies and stuff. You feel me? So and so I want to be more informed, and I get online and I look for stuff, but it still doesn't look to me like there's a goal. There's a first goal. Because like I said, the goal is way too big for us to knock it out at once. So let's start knocking out the little goals. I don't even know what those are. Vote, yes. What do we do beyond that?
I guess it's as good as mine.
And I guess we'll have to wait and see. So please, anyone who wants to send me some info, please put that in the comments below. All right. And for all of you returning people who keep giving us the support, I love it. Please like the video. Please put your comments below the video as well. Please subscribe so we can keep coming on back with this biz. Any last thoughts?
Get it together.
Everyone. We all need to be accountable.
Get it together.
We all need to be accountable. Get it together. I like it. On that note, I'm signing out. Daniels from Simi Valley.
Ron, down in SD.
And we out.
Oh, Bizz.